After a really close game against the 7-2 Lions, it's pretty obvious that Justin Fields had a pretty darn good game, but there's one big question. Is Justin Fields actually good? This is a pretty complicated and controversial question. His offensive line is horrible, his running backs are mid at best, and his receivers are decent, but nothing special. But this is his third year, so bad team or not, he needs to prove himself or he risks getting cut, since next year the Bears will have a couple top picks in the draft, being able to take the #1 quarterback if they're not happy with Fields. But honestly, Justin Fields isn't that bad. I would even say he's been pretty good as of late, even with a bad team surrounding him. He did have a pretty rough start to the season with 3 below average games, but then in weeks 4 and 5, he had a combined 617 yards, 8 touchdowns, and only 1 interception. His rating in those 2 games were around 128, which is pretty mind-blowing since we're used to seeing him do pretty bad. Sadly, after those 2 great performances, he went out with an injury early in the game against the Minnesota Vikings. Tyson Bagent then finished out the game against the Vikings and started in the next 4 games. In those 4 games, Bagent played mediocre, doing his best and actually winning 2 of those games, bringing the record to 3-7 before Fields came back. On Sunday, Fields played for the first time in over 1 month and he looked better than ever. He threw 169 yards with 1 touchdown and no interceptions. On top of that, he led his team's rushing attack with 104 yards on 18 carries. These are some pretty impressive stats for someone that might be on the chopping block this offseason. With that being said, even though the Bears lost 26-31, Justin Fields and the Bears were controlling the entire game. The Bears defense was playing amazing, picking off Jared Goff 3 times. And on the offensive side, the Bears were running it pretty well. The main killer for the Bears was not being able to convert on some offensive drives, and that led the Lions to being able to make a comeback. If the Bears were able to convert more times on some field goals, the Bears could have easily sealed that game off. And that's where the talk of finding a new quarterback comes in. Fields is great with his legs, but he can't make the easy reads. It seems like he's always trying to throw some crazy deep ball or trying to run it himself while there are receivers open right in front of him. Going forward for the Bears, there really haven't been glimpses of success. All of their wins so far have been hard-fought games, and they were pretty bad teams they were facing. With that being said, Justin Fields has 1 more year left on his rookie contract with a $20 million option for a 5th year. This is the time where the Bears really need to make a decision, either keep Justin Fields and add his 5th year and then plan on extending him for years to come while trying to rebuild the rest of their team, or they can take the #1 pick that they got from the Carolina Panthers and take the USC quarterback Caleb Williams. If they decide to go with the latter, someone like Caleb Williams might be a better fit for this growing offense. It actually seems like Justin Fields has a lot of potential that is being wasted, but the potential he's showing will probably take years to build, and I don't think the Bears fans can wait another 3 years to develop a star quarterback. Caleb Williams, on the other hand, can grow with this young offense and hopefully learn a lot quicker with a stable team and a stable coaching staff. I think it's safe to say that Justin Fields is decent, but he's not quite there yet. Now, if you enjoyed this video, I think that you would love the video I made on each NFL team's highest paid player. Obviously, the Chiefs pay Mahomes the most, the Broncos pay Russell Wilson the most, but I think that you would be pretty surprised about who the highest paid players are on the Chargers, Falcons, and many other teams. Click the video above if you want to watch more.